everybody, and welcome back to episode 40 of the Dark Rooms podcast.
Oh my gosh.
No, wait, it's episode 45. What am I talking about? 45.
Yeah, you're crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Episode 20, 20 of season 2. And
Oh
we're
my
back.
gosh.
Honestly, I've forgotten the last 5 episodes already.
Of course. So, this episode should be much better than the last one. The quality will be better. I have a cough because I'm getting over being sick. But so if I randomly stop talking and I mute, that's what happened. Yeah, today we have a live episode, and it's so good to be back.
Yeah, Jordan's here.
We got Jordan in the chat. Hello, chat. Hello, Jordan. All you Jordans in the chat.
Jordai.
Everyone do your salutes or whatever you do these days.
They're all wishing Psychic good health like the good chat they are.
Aww, thank you.
They're performing some kind of dark ritual, manifesting. They've summoned Thanos. You know, a typical Discord chat. It's fun.
Oh,
join the Discord. Join the Ozone Discord if you haven't.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's where we do these things.
So many fun moments. Anyway, what are we
Also-
talking about today?
Real quick, Inky, did you hear? I don't have COVID and I don't have bronchitis. I just have a cough. Let's go. Let's go.
I didn't hear about the no bronchitis thing.
Yeah, I just found out a little while ago, but let's go.
I think I'm almost not COVID.
Awesome.
We're getting better. Improvements.
Everybody.
All right. Anyway, let's hop in the actual topic now. So, Ozone, would you like to explain?
Oh, I asked the question so that somebody else would have to explain what we're doing this episode.
Sorry.
Okay, fine. I think we don't have any plans.
Well,
I think we're just gonna
generally we don't
talk
say
about
that.
theories.
Yeah.
Okay,
today
we have a
we're-
plan.
Well, no, I think the plan roughly was
It's
sort of
simple.
like we have a little bit of that's a throwback. We have some people here, obviously, from the FNaF community, you know? So, it's sort of a conference of opinions. What spicy takes about FNaF lore are we going to see here today? What opinions are we going to have discussed and, you know, talked over, thought about?
Simulation
here-
3. We'll get onto that.
We're gonna.
I haven't heard
we're
about
gonna-
this yet.
Yeah, neither have I. I only
You
saw
haven't?
it. I only saw
No,
it.
I
Okay,
saw
I'll
a
need
thing
to-
about it. I haven't
I'll
read it
need
yet.
to I'll need to describe it later.
This is one of the ones I
Um,
didn't check into yet.
So honestly, this is an open discussion between us and the chat about FNaF lore theories. We're getting into the deep stuff today. Lots of evidence, lots of pain, lots of suffering, lots of, yeah, that stuff. But
Nice.
we're gonna have a good time. So, where do we start?
Should we start with
beginning.
Stitchline Games?
Oh,
I love Stitchline games. Do it.
Stitchline.
Because we all believe Stitchline Games, right?
I'm like, I see it. I think there are problems with it, but
Let's hear it.
I just sort of go, okay.
I think they can be
No.
solved.
I think your problems can be solved if you just say them.
That's possible. A lot of the chat is all right. Let's look before we get into that. The chat, we have one person for Stitchline Games, and the rest are you know, they're violently
No.
fighting back.
No, I
Games
wanna-
hearts.
I want to ask the people in this chat: are they saying that Stitchline Games is not canon, or are they saying they don't like it? There's a difference.
Ooh, there is a
That's-
difference.
That is a different. Stitchline
Uh,
Games is not canon. Both.
oh
both,
gosh.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
Well, no, both would be. You don't think it's
Okay.
canon and you don't like it.
You don't like it, but it's canon. That's respectable.
Yeah, I actually respect that. Like that you can like accept it
I
even though you
think
don't like it.
If you think
I
it's
would
not
agree
canon
with
because you
most.
don't like it, that's where we get into some tough spots.
Yeah, that's where it's like,
Well, we have an interesting opinion. I like it, but it's not canon. So, that's interesting. So
That's interesting. I haven't heard that
like-
side of it.
liking the concept, but not thinking that the evidence is strong enough, or something.
interesting,
Like that.
interesting. We got some smart people.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay.
That's a bit
Yeah, because
harsh.
there's also, as Ghost says, split line games, which is like
uh,
the theory that after FNaF 6, there's like 2 different timelines: the first Frights and the games.
I am of the
friggin'
opinion
Which-
that was just coping for there being a
Coping.
version
I
of the
think
timeline. that
I
isn't
do
Stitch-
think it is.
It's a
I
bit
think
of a
people
cope idea.
were just like oh, there's problems with Stitchline games, therefore new timeline.
Yeah.
So there's one timeline with and one timeline without.
I think Stitchline
Um,
games is possible. That's the thing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I like it.
So, the thing about
I also
Stitchline games,
feel like it makes sense because isn't there that one post that Scott made? Like, yeah, some of the books will be canon, some won't be. So,
Yes.
Like, that's something that happened, right?
What is this?
oh, there's a fun image that has been presented that
Fright
I
games,
believe has.
Stitch Red
Oh.
Stingers.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go through this. Let's go.
Okay.
Well, actually, should I say what my few problems?
What do we
are with
identify as?
Stitchline?
Read it up and just say what you think.
I identify as Stitch games.
I identify as Stitch games. I feel like that should be called Stitch Line, shouldn't it? Though we've been calling it Stitch Line this entire time, but
Wait,
yeah,
there's
Stitch games is the
differences?
most accurate. Well, look,
Stitch-
apparently Stitch Line is you think it's its own continuity.
That's
Which-
not quite.
Yeah, the entire
Accurate,
time we've been calling
what I'm
Stitch
saying.
Line what Stitch Games is.
Yeah.
No, we've been calling it Stitchline games.
Who cares?
Oh, wait.
Just explain each one.
Let's go through this interesting image that has been posted in the chat. We've got Fright Games, which is all Fazbear Fright stories happen on game continuity.
Absolutely not.
That is quite
Wait,
literally impossible.
okay, so what's the
Yeah, it's
problem with
impossible.
that? What's the problem with that? Someone
Uh,
explain.
First thing that comes to mind is Coming Home has a modern MCI.
There's also what we found with different events of FNAF 3.
Yeah.
There was one more.
Those are the two big ones, though.
They're
I swear there's
all
one more that I don't
canon.
remember.
That's what I
Oh,
believe.
Prankster is like a retelling of FNAF VR, but differently. That's a bit of a weird
You're
one.
the band and Into the Pit contradict.
You're the band.
I
Well,
still have-
that's
I
scrapped
still have-
anyways.
Okay, I still have not read You're the Band, so
Also,
that is
the
on
bit
me.
even
Oh.
like canon. We don't know.
Inky,
What
can
was
we
that-
just
what
tell
was
you the
that
plot of You're the Band at this point? It would be
no.
fun to tell you.
You don't know the plot yet?
I don't know it. Listen,
Please,
I've
come
only,
on.
I've
You
only
have
had
an amazing reaction.
Look, we don't necessarily need to even bring in anything from Felix, because like it's just not canon either way. Anyways,
Yeah.
even
we can
if it didn't conflict with Into the Pit, it's still not canon. probably.
let's just brush past it. I'll get to it eventually. I swear. I'm
Oh.
halfway through the scoop.
Okay.
All I have
okay.
are the audiobooks, and I'm like usually distracted. Anyways, moving down into the next one on the image is Stitch games, Stitch Red Stingers, and connected stories happen on the game continuity.
I like
which
that
is
one.
what that's the pretty popular one. That's
Yeah,
like the
that's
the
my
one
one.
up for debate.
Yeah,
That's
the
my
one.
identification right there.
Yes.
Right. So next up, we've got split games, which is what we had just sort of talked about. Stitch Wraith Stingers and Connected Stories are an alternate sequel, a what if of FNAF 6 Pizzeria Simulator.
Yeah, that one's
so-
usually referred to as split line.
Yeah, split line. That's just like some Zelda timeline stuff that I don't see the. I personally don't
True.
see evidence for it. Like it's you can't disprove it,
But you
but
can't prove it.
See,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got like
I know
no,
in my video it was
no
like
basis
the
at all.
Loki thing. Where it's like split
the Loki
timelines.
thing, yeah. The variant.
Yeah,
So
a variant of Freddy Fazbear.
then we've got what this image calls the Stitch line, which is Stitch Wraith Stingers and Connected Stories are an isolated continuity, which I don't think makes much sense because like this is just saying that the Connected Stories and Stitch Wraith Stingers are in one timeline.
Yeah.
And like completely isolated from
And at
everything
that-
else.
It leaves
Well,
them empty and unexplained.
Yeah. like
Sorry. At that point, you might just say all. If you're gonna be like, oh, that's all their own continuity, then at that point, just put all the Fazbear Frights in their own continuity, every
Yeah.
single one.
Here's what I think. I think that the ultimate guide. I think that the ultimate guide was the big factor in changing us from like Stitch line to Stitch games, where it's like FNAF 6. Like after the events of FNAF 6, this was found. Blah blah blah. Henry's plan didn't work.
it gave us the reasoning, like, okay, in FNAF 6, there's a poster of Heracles Hospital. Oh, hey, we never noticed that. Also, Puppet Mask was in the
Well-
evidence locker. Like, it tied that stuff together.
I don't think that's Heracles _
You don't think the
it was
poster
a
of FNAF 6
It was a
is
nice
Heracles?
thought. It says Five Nights at the Opera, or One Night at the
It
Opera, or something.
has two gargoyles in front like the hospital. Let's see what chat says.
I have connected them. They do not look like the creatures they say they look like in the book. Anyway,
Whatever.
then we have Frightline.
Yeah,
All
Frightline.
Fazbear Fright stories are an isolated continuity.
That's like the other. That's the alternative to Stitchline games, I'd say.
That's okay. That's isn't Frightline just Stitchline, but it's all frights instead of ones that connect?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we know they're not
Okay.
all connected.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
And then novel frights.
Yeah. Novel.
This is an
friends.
interesting one.
Oh, this one.
So the Fazbear Frights happen on Charlie novels.
That's something I actually
continuity.
believed like a long time ago, like during one.
No,
during, like, one
early into Fazbear Frights. Yeah, that was a good one early into Fazbear Frights, but then it died out very quickly.
Yeah, I feel like the Ella doll really was the only thing going for that one.
Well,
I
there's
also
definitely
felt-
connections,
I
but
also
we have to
felt like-
understand that that's still a completely separate continuity.
Yeah.
Also, another reason I thought it was because the Afton was like, oh, he could have been burned from like, didn't he like die in like an oven in the books?
He got shoved into a freaking oven, and I guess you could say, "Hey, burn dude in the Mana Room 1280."
Yeah,
but
that
Man
you know,
got cooked.
that and the Ella doll.
that's a very loose connection. That if you look like deeper, it's like, oh, that's not true.
yeah.
Man's
I,
got baked.
I'm saying like this was like just like when did Bunny Call come out? Oh my gosh,
Bunny
lot
Call
of
was that number 7?
that was number 5.
Oh, never mind.
That would have been like June 2020 or something.
Gee, that was so long ago. That was 2 years ago. What the hell?
Holy
Nah,
crap.
that must have been actually a little bit further.
Not by much.
Probably
though,
like
because-
October.
No, I think it was September 2020. Because Bunny Call was like the most recent one when I got into the Fazbear Frights. I remember that. Anyways, the
I
last
started
one
at
on this,
135.
the last one on this image is Indie Frights, which is
Huh.
Fazbear Frights are stories made by Fazbear Entertainment, just like the games are. I have not heard
I've
that.
never heard of that.
Okay, so it's the idea that they put out stories, and I think I know a bit of this, and some of it is actually like kind of true, but not really.
My
Um,
question for that is,
one-
what's
I can-
the motivation?
I can
Yeah.
I can only think of one thing that maybe connects that, and that
Say
would
it.
be Into the Pit. The fact that what's his name, Oscar
Oswald.
Oswald.
Is it
Yep.
Oswald?
Oscar is
Yeah.
out of stock.
Yeah. Okay.
Man,
They all
you
blend
guys need
together.
to catch up on your knowledge.
Listen, it's been quite literally years since I read Into the Pit. So he draws the animatronics, and he's like, "Oh, these like little characters I made, stuff like that." So that's the only thing I can think of that is kind of linked to that. Maybe I
So-
don't know. I don't even know if that's what they use.
So I was gonna say, these are definitely real events. They definitely happen, but Fazbear Entertainment still uses some characters from like their brand that happened in the Fazbear Frights for branding. You saw the Fetch arcade game in Security Breach. Were there any other Fazbear Frights characters that got
Plus Sharp Chaser.
Plus Sharp
minigame.
Chaser? There was a few, and then I think a bigger idea that was like this was that the novel trilogy might be somehow characters or something in the main game timeline because they're on an
Oh,
arcade
Ralph
console.
Lowe as well from Bunny Call.
That one, no, actually, it looks like Ralpho, but it's not Ralpho.
Are you sure? Okay.
It looks somewhat like it, but it's just because it's a brown rabbit.
I like Ralpho. We should bring him back.
Bring him back.
Unrelated. Bring back Ralpho. He was fun. I like Ralpho. Ralpho's the glam rock Bonnie we really need.
True.
No.
What am I watching in chat?
Everybody
honestly,
Yeah, wants
the
Ralph.
chat is going wild now.
We drew this
Okay.
amazing lefty picture with the lean. Do you see it?
Yup.
The L in lefty
Uh,
stands for lean.
The
No.
chat is the chat is rallying behind Bring Back Ralpho. And Ralpho for president, apparently.
And Ozone's based.
Come join the Discord, it's fun.
True.
So,
Alright.
there are lots of different ways to interpret the books. And it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot to handle because everybody kind of has like a different opinion on it these days, and I don't know where I stand, honestly. I think Stitchline Games is possible, but I think there are some...
We started this
small
like
problems.
ages ago with wanting you to say those problems, and we
Right,
will
and
hear
then the
them out.
image got
Yes,
posted.
you must now tell us your problems with
Yes.
Stitchline.
Yes, okay. So, I have 2 problems with Stitchline, and currently the Afton discrepancy, as I'm sure we all are aware of.
No, what's the Afton discrepancy?
How security breach really screwed this one.
No,
Okay.
I don't know
Oh,
what
this
it is.
one. Yeah. Okay.
Burn
Everybody,
trap,
no
burn
spoilers.
trap. Yeah, no spoilers for whatever happens in Tales. Burn trap has organic material, and it wouldn't make sense for it to be anyone else's organic material but Afton's. But he blew up in the Stitch line and became Glitch Trap, which we do know happened. Well, and the Afton amalgamation, but like he's in 40 different places at once these days.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's-
if
that's
only
fine.
you
There's
knew.
I think there's an
Listen.
explanation.
The Tales epilogue supports Stitchline in a way I cannot tell you
Okay,
because you don't want to know yet.
That's comforting, I guess.
Okay, it goes into
Wait,
Burn Trap
wait, what?
pretty good, I think.
Wait,
Okay.
what? Wait, I zoned out for a second. What happened?
Well, now
Wait,
The Afton
that's
discrepancy.
that's kind of spoilers. I would be careful what you say on
It
the
is
floor.
kind of spoilers.
But,
That was kind of spoilers. Yes, I don't think
but
anybody.
there you
caught it,
go. There's just a mini
though. Your-
preview, I
that,
guess.
that concern will be covered. What's the other concern?
All right.
Yes.
One, that's the other concern is the stuff about Andrew and Midnight Motorist, because I just don't think the orange guy can be anyone but Afton. Like he's got the same text as
I completely agree.
I think
but
he's got the same text.
Where else
as
would Andrew go? So like that's the problem.
That's that. Well, yeah, that is my that's my problem with
Yeah,
Stitchline
Have you
Games.
watched
exactly.
my two
No,
beautiful
I'm
videos
supporting you on
Andrew?
that.
Okay. I will be honest. I have not seen the videos, but the things about Midnight Motorist is that Orange Guy has the FNAF 4 ending dialogue color. He has a purple car. Nobody else has a purple car in the franchise. So, and I know like the whole Scott doesn't do coincidences thing is a meme at this point, but I genuinely don't think 2 unrelated characters would have a purple car. And the minigame thing is later that night, and the only other thing that can apply to is Charlie's murder, and he's driving away from it. Like, it all adds up to be Afton, and I don't see how it can be that it's Andrew's dad and Afton was outside the window luring him away or something.
When crafting my Andrew MM video, that was a big problem because the only way to explain those is that it's red herrings. That
I
there
don't
are
like
some
that,
connections
that's the
to
thing.
William, but they aren't. But like,
Wait, no. I can explain it.
Do it.
It's Andrew's house, but it's a parallel to Afton's house.
what? No, now you lost me.
The
What?
Andrews parallel Afton's. They have purple cars. They have someone watching TV, and therefore we get to learn about Andrew and Afton.
An image was posted
What?
in the chat that like summarizes.
Someone just said
the-
Elsa.
So are you saying that there is a family in the games and a family in the games, and they parallel each other?
I'm joking.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, so
That's why
an
I
image was
didn't know
posted in chat, sort of detailing all the reasons that the evidence that appears to say that it's Afton, and it is a lot. I'm just saying, I don't know.
It is,
that's
but
my-
Yeah.
some of
that's
it
my
is
biggest
circumstantial
problem.
enough to be red herrings. Is the problem? Some of it is still circumstantial enough to be red herring. It's not like
I
definitive
think-
enough.
My biggest problem with it is that Phasma Frights came out like 3 years after, and
Yes,
Yeah. I was
And-
gonna say that.
Fast
So-
for Frights was meant to fill some holes from the games.
Yes, but underscore, you're saying that the evidence is somewhat like circumstantial and it can be passed off as red herrings. But my counter to that would be, isn't that how FNAF has always worked? Like, we've pieced together this much by small clues that we can pick up and piece together. Like Baby's
True.
eyes being the same color as Elizabeth's.
That is circumstantial. You are correct.
Right.
Also-
so it's details like that, like, oh, this car is purple. This
Oh
other
my
car is purple. We haven't seen any other purple cars. Therefore, it is reasonable to conclude that this is the same purple car.
Sort of. Hey, here's all the arcade textures that are important.
Okay.
Oh, interesting. Slight topic change. There was a big image dump of a bunch of the security breach arcade cabinets.
My biggest.
Okay, do you see the one how it looks like Ralpho, but it's
Okay.
not exact?
I'm scrolling through. Oh, is it the one with all the
I
rabbits?
think it is.
You think it's Ralpho?
So
Does Ralpho have blue cheeks?
No.
Oh, it is a
Does he?
goat. It is a goat.
Wait,
goat.
what's a goat?
Oh, it's not a goat. It's just the Viking helmet.
Yeah, it's a Viking rabbit.
yeah.
So-
He does have blue cheeks.
can I can I?
He
say
does
something
have blue
like
cheeks
something
and
about
blue
the
eyes.
Andrew thing, or are we past that?
What Andrew thing?
The
Midnight
Andrew
Like, I
Murderers?
comment on it. Comment.
I don't. The thing is, you say that the books were made to fill in some holes from the past, but the thing is, Midnight Motors would have been impossible to solve for 3 years with your theory,
Yes.
and that rubs me the wrong way.
That's a good point.
It's not only filling. It's just like it's not just filling a hole. It's filling like a whole chasm, basically.
No. It fills holes, but it makes holes.
Yeah.
It's like if you like cut a piece of cheese in half, it's still gonna have holes, even though you've got rid of some of the holes.
So I think what you're saying is, in the timeline sense, it fills a hole pretty good, but like it opens up the question of, oh, so FNAF 6 wasn't solvable up until now, and it's been like 3 years. It opens up that one kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't, because FNAF 6 was supposed to be like the last one, I think, and it doesn't.
I
even-
don't know what to say other than it works so well that I'm willing to excuse that, personally.
That's.
I just wish we saw Cassidy in the Fazbear Frights. Then I would be sold.
Yeah, if Cassidy was Andrew, like like they were the same character, everything would be.
It's
so much
just the
easier.
fact that they
But-
parallel each other as well. It's like
Yeah,
there's
they're
a
like.
part of me that's thinking, oh,
Okay.
maybe these aren't actually
Look.
in the same continuity.
Think about this. Originally, we thought that the black-haired kid in Golden Freddy and the new kid was Cassidy, but that kid matches Andrew more than Cassidy.
Yes. But
So
if the
does
Stitch-
Cassidy parallel
but-
Andrew?
But if the Stitch line is not in the games, then that wouldn't matter because then Andrew would just be the Stitch line equivalent of Cassidy, wouldn't he?
I don't know.
It's so messy. FNAF is messy. So someone in chat has said, in response to Fazbear Frights are canon to the games, I think this is interesting. We should probably address this or talk about it. Is that Man in Room 1280 takes place before 2023 and Afton is burned? Where do we know why it would be?
What?
I know I used to think that that Man in Room 1280 definitely took place before 2023, but I don't remember why I did, and I don't remember if there's.
Okay, people used to believe that it had to be before 1995 because Sergio's Lucky Day takes place in 1995, and people thought that Lucky Boy was possessed with Andrew's agony.
Which-
So it kind of had to be before 1995 then, but it's been cleared up that that's not necessarily the case.
Right.
Yeah, like the thing in 1995 with Sergio doesn't. There's no evidence, and it would be circumstantial, yeah, but it doesn't have to have Andrew's agony. So that doesn't like need to move around 1280 at all.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Man in Room 1280 doesn't have to be anywhere on the timeline, like judging by things in the story and surrounding things with Andrew. Like, it's honestly, it's frustrating. I honestly, this is why I don't really have a stance on Stitchline games, is because it's just a lot of.
Can I give you some
Well, I think-
advice?
I mean, sure.
You should
Well, before
read
that-
the epilogues before they come out.
No.
No, I will not do
Yes.
See,
that. I will
I
not.
think whether or not you're a Stitchline games, you kind of have to accept that something similar to the Man in Room 1280 definitely happens in the timeline anyway. For Afton to go from the pizza place to literally a VR game and an AR place and other places,
And the amalgamation and the.
it kind of has to happen either way.
Dang it, I missed. What's going on?
Something that's just been posted about the Cupcake Massacre. I'm
Oh,
gonna
that's
pull
a big
this
one.
up.
Cake.
I'm gonna pull
Oh,
this
is
up.
this about the FNaF 3
I would
minigame?
assume as much, and that kind of excites me because I've always wondered about those like dead things. You know. So I'm very
Yeah.
intrigued.
I always wonder about dead things. My personality. Psychic's personality.
Thanks. bud.
Inky's personality.
What about my? Wait, what?
No, quit opening tabs. There we go.
All right, you guys keep talking. I'm gonna glance over this really quick.
Okay. Someone said, "What is a Cupcake Massacre?" I have no idea.
That's what we're about to find out after I skim this article.
After
Mr.
you're done with
Cupcake,
that,
what have you done?
after you're done with that, I have one last straw that I want to try to pull for Andrew MM. But after that, I'm
Or
done
why-
with that.
Why don't you do that now so that we keep the
Yeah,
topic
do it now.
together?
Okay. The Midnight Motorist house, it cannot be William's house. It cannot be the FNAF 4 house.
That is true.
That is a good point.
That's a good point. Yeah.
But you're
Um,
saying that it's William.
I am.
Unless they moved house.
I've heard that one too many times.
Well, I mean, what if it's? Could it be?
It is a good point.
Could it be the sister location entry house? If that's a thing.
What the frick does that mean?
No, like how
Like the
the
garage?
testing room. The testing rooms, how they're connected to sister location, and there's the house on the FNAF 4 menu hill.
True.
Yes.
It could be that house.
I also want to point out Subster's point, which is that Mrs. Afton does divorce William.
That's a good point. So they could have multiple houses.
Alright, say something. I'm listening. I'm just.
So-
There's two flies flying around me, and I'm gonna spray them with bug spray.
But also, at the same time, if Charlotte was first and it's later that night,
Why do you
I
think
don't-
she
I don't
divorces
know.
him?
after
Why
the
would you
bite
think that
victim, I
she
think,
divorces him?
After, because bite victim, or the
If
bite.
if you are assuming that the crying child is the one who got taken away in the middle of the night, but they're at this house, they're not divorced yet. They shouldn't have two houses. If
I
you're
don't-
saying the divorce happened because the crying child died, he's not dead yet. They shouldn't have two houses, but he's the one getting taken away in the middle of the night from the midnight.
Oh
Motorist
right,
house.
yeah, that's true.
Oh, I just had a really dumb idea.
Say it. I love them.
Oh boy.
Okay, so this I might have already disproved it because I don't know. So let's again. This is gonna take some jumps. It's mostly an idea. I don't
I love
necessarily
jumpy
believe this.
ideas.
Okay. Let's say for a second that the person watching the TV, even though it's the same text color as Michael and is watching the TV like Michael does, let's assume for a second that it's not Michael.
Okay.
Afton comes home. What if Michael kidnapped?
There's just a stranger
The-
sat
okay.
watching TV.
Okay.
What
Let me stop you right there.
What if
You
Michael
are
kidnapped him?
You are succumbing to the same thing I did. Remember how I said it's all red herrings? Now you're saying that it's not Michael in gray, but William's still Orange Man.
That's a good point. And
wait,
like I said,
man just said.
like
Man
I,
just said, what if Michael kidnapped?
The crying child.
I told you it's just an idea, and I don't think I believe it. But it was just something that popped.
We
in.
need
I
the
think
crackpot theory jingle.
Outlandish theories that come like out of nowhere as far as ideas are like the beginnings of theories, and I've been ratioed, and I've been ratioed by myself as well.
You also had the L.
I don't
I
You
thrive
fell
on
off.
crackpot theories.
I fell off. This is true. I don't believe this. It was just an idea, guys. It was just an idea.
All right.
To be fair, like it also, like as I thought about it more, I found more reasons to disprove it. For example, I was thinking, that. So you know how I just made the argument that that house is the one above the sister location and has the testing
Yes.
rooms. So I advocated for that, then immediately forgot I did that and assumed
Bruv,
that Michael
please.
took him to the testing facility.
No.
And that Michael was running the tests on him.
This is
Wait,
the
wait.
worst.
What if?
Sometimes my brain,
Hang on.
you know, this is what FNaF does to you. This is what 4 years of FNaF does to you.
I
5
have
years.
a massive theory, conspiracy. What if Mrs. Afton's maiden name is Little?
What?
No!
Oh.
What? No.
And Michael goes with Mrs. Little, so he becomes Michael Little, and that's Dr. Little.
I thought you were gonna say his name was Michael Little Afton.
You're suggesting that Dr. Little
And he
is
had a
Michael
kid called
Afton?
Stuart Little.
Don't
Yes!
rap, Dr. Little. Okay, Inky. The thing you did with Michael kidnapping the crying child is like me saying, okay, you know what? Let's make a compromise. Orange Man is William Afton, but Andrew still lives at his house and he kidnaps him.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
Someone Someone said, "Shut your mouth, you based British boy."
No, but
Wow.
like the thing is, I could wait. No. I had another crackpot idea.
Oh boy.
Can we just have a whole episode of crackpot theory?
I come up with good crackpot theories. I am not interested in this. What do you got?
Okay, so people, so operating under the idea that that Andrew gets kidnapped by William, and the footprint outside is the Spring Bonnie suit, for
Yes.
Oh
example.
no.
Okay, so. Oh, I just disproved
No.
it again. Oh no. Okay, so. Okay, this is how much I really don't like Midnight Motorists, is because it has so many like, I just can't wrap my head around it. So, for this crackpot theory, you have to assume that the person that Michael talks about, he goes, leave him alone, he's had like a long day or something like that. Assume he's not talking about anyone there.
Oh my god.
And I know, this is not a legitimate theory, it's just an idea I had. And I
He
find
just
it
has
really funny.
schizophrenia.
Exactly!
Wishing for schizophrenia?
No, not Michael. William does. He goes, oh, he's
Wait,
run
he
off to
said
that
it's-
place again.
It's
I
like
think
Pizza
this-
Kit.
this
where it's
idea-
like a psychological.
This idea is that the room that Orange Guy goes into, Orange Guy is one of William's personalities, Purple Guy is the other. He goes into his own room, sees the broken window, and goes, oh no, he got out again, referring to his other personality.
Wait, what if Orange Guy and Purple Guy work like Vanessa and Vanny?
Oh no.
What? No.
No, that's kind of what I was saying. It's terrible. It's a terrible theory because again, Michael disproves it by saying that there is someone who lives in that room.
Yeah.
But if Michael didn't say that, I would actually be tempted to legitimately believe that, because like orange and purple, very different, maybe representing. two
Can I
different
just take a
personalities.
second to say how terrible the house is in Midnight Motorist?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
I would not want to live there. There's like one piece of furniture and one
I
bedroom.
think it's definitely
Cuban King me with his
oversimplified.
brand new epic theory. Will schizo? He's schizophrenic.
Will Schizo.
That's what I just sort of went down the path of.
That's
Schizophrenia.
that's great.
Actually, with some tweaking, obviously I think there would still be a kid, but I actually, hear me out, I think that might be an explanation for the two colors.
I think
Like,
you're I think you're coping.
I think I am coping. No, but seriously, I mean, obviously, like, it's when he's in the shadows, when he's out of the shadows,
Hey,
that
hey
stuff.
Inky, you know.
It could also represent two mental states. I don't know.
Inky,
Bipolar disorder.
Inky, Sun and Moon. One's orange, one's purple. One's nice, one's bad.
True.
I love reaching.
Well, you're short, so you do it often.
I think this is the episode where I snap. I think it happened.
Remember when we
Maybe.
thought Orange Guy was Grandpa Afton?
That was just
Inky,
you, so-
please, oh please, I want to talk about the epilogue. Please.
I'm sorry,
I beg
listen.
of thee.
Listen, okay, so it comes out in 10 days. I will probably read it
I beg.
sometime after that.
I can. Okay.
Listen, underscore, just think about it. When we're done, when we talk about it, we'll probably give the epilogue its whole episode or something, and we can just talk about it. It's gonna be great. Today's not that day, though.
Audiobooks on my channel.
The chat wants epilogue. The chat wants the epilogue.
But
I
it's
think we
not
should-
even.
we-
It's not even like released yet.
Didn't ask.
Anyways,
Should
I'm
we
going
get-
back to
should we
reading
get into
the
something
Cupcake
new?
Massacre. Yeah, I'm gonna go back into reading the Cupcake Massacre, which
Speaking
I
of
got.
which,
that's
how are you
that.
feeling about Lally's game coming out in 10 days?
That's
I'm
crazy.
hyped.
Okay.
Especially because everybody's talking about the epilogue.
Yeah.
Taking an educated guess as to what the Cupcake Massacre is. Do you guys remember those like 5 or 4 or so like shadow cupcakes in Chica's party in FNAF 3's minigame?
Yeah.
They're gonna say that those cupcakes are their own like victims. Where's the Cupcake Massacre? I gotta prove myself right now.
I'm reading it. Yeah.
Prove me right.
What
Anyways,
did you just say?
While-
I'm
while
reading
They're
it.
gonna say that the set of shadow cupcakes in Chica's party are their own like set of victims or something.
well, while Inky and underscore are
that's-
reading, let's talk about what should we talk about?
I'm not reading.
I don't know.
No,
We're
we
not
don't
talking about the
talk about
epilogue. We're
Bruno.
not talking about the epilogue. Maybe that'll be like the season 2 finale, where we just do like a 2-hour episode on the epilogue.
2
I do
hours.
have a.
It
I
would
do
not
have a
need
topic.
2 hours.
I'm kidding.
I do
I'm
have a
kidding.
topic, but it would need a little bit more time.
Let me
You
need
check
more
time.
time?
Let me check time. We have about 20 minutes.
No. I mean, like
we're
Inky's doing
already
the
down to
Cupcake
20
Massacre.
minutes.
Yeah, it's flown by.
Oh my god. We went.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might have a theory to throw out
Inky,
there.
Inky, are you doing the Cupcake Massacre?
I'm reading it. Yeah.
Oh, they want
Okay,
simulation
you read that.
theory.
Oh yeah. Simulation theory is something.
I'm.
we should
I
talk
want. I'm talking about the.
Talk about it. Tell me. I haven't heard yet.
No. But I need time for it. So Inky
Okay.
do his thing first.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll just read it out loud. That would be much easier.
Uh,
Okay.
Or you. Okay.
So this Reddit post by Snoo Habits 4803. So
Can you sum it up?
I'll like read the important bits. Okay.
Okay.
So saying that FNAF 3 Happiest Day minigames are at least a metaphor for a spirit world, which I think I would agree with. It's clearly happening with like the spirits because Happiest Day ends like that, So 4 strange scenes. First is Balloon Boy's Air Adventure, where we see 3 crying balloon boys. Mangle's Quest, we see giant
Cry about
crying
it.
puppet.
Cry about
Chica's Party, we see 5 crying cupcakes. One of them is special and follows you around. And then there's a child that goes missing in stage 01. Okay. So, person says, humble belief that these anomalies are meant to show us the secret victims of Afton. Well accepted that the HD minigames, Happiest Day, are Bite Victims' memories. And sure, you could connect most of the things that happen in FNAF 4, but none of them fit completely. Most people commonly connect to the Balloon Boys as the toy girl in FNAF 4, but this honestly stretch. I would agree with that. Weird that she would allude to Balloon Boy's Air Adventure when she's the one that has Chica. Puppet is the most valid connection to FNAF 4, apparently. The pose, it's depicting Bite Victim, but we never
True.
see it in the room with Mangle. And since Mangle's Quest is where it appears, interesting. So he's saying that the pose is probably a coincidence because it only shows up once. Cupcake is definitely the weirdest one. They connect it to the plushies, and the one that follows you is the Fredbear plush. Interesting. So stage 01 is no exception, apparently. Minigame hinting at a child stuffed into Spring Bonnie. But he's not afraid of Spring Bonnie. Wasn't he afraid of Spring Bonnie as well?
Who?
Not just Fredbear, by
He was,
victim.
He is
he was
afraid of
afraid of the
golden
golden
suits.
suits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
This sounds pretty crackpot to me.
It did start off saying that it was pretty crackpot. No, but interestingly, this isn't even the theory that they're trying to say. This is the counter to the theory they're trying to say.
Oh,
So yeah, this person is explaining why those things are a stretch in their opinion. So what are we actually seeing here? Well, I think we're seeing a few murder events in the timeline that we're missing. This is what I've always sort of thought, but I've never found enough evidence to conclude this, because I've always like tried to go, wait, what about those guys? And it just goes past it. So stage 01 is definitely the simplest to explain. This is Afton's 7th victim. We see a lot of imagery throughout FNAF that depicts Afton having 7 main victims. The backstage of FNAF World has 7 graves. They are arranged very neatly with one off to the side. And they have unique sprites. Interesting. Okay, another example. Ultimate Custom Night. Toy Chica claims 7 victims. That's another... I'd say that's a coincidence, yeah? Or not coincidence, potential evidence. Repeated again in Security Breach, where one of the posters has... Wait, what? One of the post-its has 7 kids, one smaller than the rest. All signs point
Andrew.
to Afton having a secret 7th main victim, and I think Stage 01 shows us this victim. First, the minigame is at Fredbear's. No other victim we know of dies at Fredbear's except, Bite Victim, but he's not really a victim.
Charlotte?
Charlotte, it says you can make the argument that Charlotte did, but given the fact that Freddy is the main character where she died, it was probably Freddy's. I agree with that. And there was also a puppet, which I don't think
But
Fredbear's was
but
identical.
it's at Freddy's singing show.
Hmm?
Freddy's singing show.
What about it?
Well, it's Freddy at Fredbear's.
Yes, there is a Freddy costume at Fredbear's Family Diner.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
I don't know. From the death cutscene that we get for Charlotte, it's always given me the impression that it's Freddy's and not Fredbear's personally. But I could be
have
wrong.
to disagree.
So second, the killer is wearing the Fredbear suit, which is, I guess because you're moving Fredbear around in the minigame. Actually, I don't know, because I think that would represent Bite Victim because he got bit by Fredbear, wouldn't it? So it's saying that the killer wearing the Fredbear suit is something we've never seen William do before, so it could be like another kill that we haven't seen. So how do we know he's wearing Fredbear and not Spring Bonnie? Because of the eyes. Interesting. When William puts on Spring Bonnie and Follow Me, the eyes are glowing white. These are the same eyes we see on the Fredbear in stage 01. This isn't an accident because Spring Bonnie's eyes are yellow in this minigame, showing he's in animatronic mode. That's an interesting connection that I think that kind of works. Stage 01 shows Afton killing a victim and stuffing them into the Spring Bonnie suit. Who could this possibly be? Well, he's Shadow Bonnie. So this is saying that Shadow Bonnie is a victim and not an agony manifestation.
Man,
I
I don't like that.
I don't think this is going anywhere.
I think I'm interested. I don't know.
I'm done hearing about this.
Yeah, I don't need to hear anything else.
I'm gonna keep reading. You guys keep going with whatever. I'm gonna keep reading.
Okay. Do you guys want to hear about
theory.
simulation theory?
Yes, you do that. Yeah, I have something afterwards. But
Well,
let's
no,
hear
you do
simulation.
it first. Do it first.
Wait, I want to hear Inky
No.
finish reading. I want to hear Inky finish reading.
Oh my god.
He's just reading on his own.
I will
We
give
all
a
want different
summary.
things.
I'll give a
Okay.
summary when I'm done.
Yeah,
Quick.
Ozone, tell us about simulation theory. I need to hear
No,
this.
you go first. You go
No,
first.
you go first. Please. Okay.
This is gonna sound really cringe. Okay.
this
At
was-
first you're gonna cringe at it. People
No,
think
no,
it's
it's not.
terrible. Some people think it's really good. I personally think it's a really, really fascinating idea. Probably not canon, but
Fascinating.
it's cool to think about because it does
Okay.
have like evidence. So, the simulation theory is this new theory that's popped up. I think it's by Misko and MTom who did the reviews for Lali's game.
Yep.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it's mainly based on one of the stories in Lali's game, but we won't talk about that.
Also, we
But
can't really
underscore,
talk-
can you confirm?
We can't really talk about simulation theory, can
It
we?
should be about. Wait,
We
I
can,
shouldn't
we
say
can.
which story though. Should I say which story it is based on?
No, I wouldn't say which story.
The tweet that was just posted does say what it, in the
Well,
chat does say what
okay.
story it's
Yeah,
based
the theory
It's-
surrounds a concept introduced in Under Construction.
Yeah, that's all we'll say about that. But it's definitely a thing. So this theory is basically the theory that everything in Security Breach. Well, okay, I need to make sure my words are right here. Basically, the events of Security Breach happen, but Gregory, like the gameplay, is Gregory being stuck in a loop, like, forever and ever, just like in Freddy and Friends on tour. Forever and ever and ever and ever.
Oh,
Is that part of the evidence?
Yes.
That line? Okay.
There's also another line in there, I think, which is something about life not being real or something. Anyway, oops, I did something. Okay, so, basically this tweet says, is it possible? I'm taking this from @puppy76180464. Basically it just says, is this possible? Yes, because we see it in Laddie's game, and also it talks about it in AR, where it's like when you're in VR, you're kind of like in another world, basically. And then, God, okay, wait. So you know how Gregory has like the most points on all the arcades in Security Breach?
Yes.
That's kind of like a nod that it might be like a never-ending loop. I'm not explaining this very well. Somebody in chat, give me like a
Okay,
good way
so
to explain this.
someone said it good earlier. They called it Bandy and the Ink Machine Theory FNaF Edition, where what's his name, Henry, is stuck in the Bendy loop.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, it's like that.
Interesting.
So that also explains like the wall code, because it basically predicts what happens in Security Breach: dodge, duck, flash, shoot, run, crawl, crush the vial band. Drawn to life, not real. As well.
Did Gregory write that to himself in the future then, or something? Or would it
Not
still
sure.
be Mike who wrote that?
But there are a few things that may say that Gregory did things in past cycles that affect things in future cycles.
Okay.
So I need to find this. I'm really sorry. People think that the person who's like trying to figure out the arcade conspiracy could be Gregory. Someone going
Or
insane
could be-
playing
or could be
Princess Quest.
Someone else trapped in the
Well,
cycle.
well, let me tell you. Aside from this theory, Gregory is the one, maybe not in Security Breach trying to, but destined. The arcade conspiracy emails make it clear that the person trying is not destined. There is one specific person meant to solve Princess
my
Quest, and
gosh.
that's Gregory.
Does FNAF have a chosen one?
He's the chosen one for
He's
Princess
the
Quest, basically.
chosen one. No, the prophecy of Gregory. You were the chosen one.
He is the Princess Quest chosen one. That is definitive.
Oh my gosh. But why?
Yes.
Oh no! But then the theory becomes, but why? Is he bite victim then?
Yes, he is.
Ah.
I
He
think
is
he is.
the chosen one. Well, okay, you remember how the thing you were reading
okay.
was...
Fair. To be fair, I would rather, if he is some chosen one, I guess I would rather him be bite victim than just, oh, new random character who is now the chosen one.
Do you remember how you were saying that, or you were reading that theory, and it was that they were saying how the Crying Child's memories aren't the FNAF 3 minigames? Well, I'm going to counter with, yes, they are his memories, and that's why Gregory is the chosen one, because he's the Crying Child. Happiest Day relies on his memories, and doing Princess Quest is basically doing the FNAF 3 minigames.
You have a good point.
Yes.
Exactly.
Oh boy.
Continue.
Oh.
Simulation.
Stimulation theory.
You know, wait. Everyone obviously knows, but in case there was somebody listening to the podcast
Okay.
that didn't understand how, let's say, Princess Quest was Happiest Day or the minigames or whatever. You know, hypothetical person. How would you explain that to this
Yeah,
hypothetical
I still need
person?
an explanation to that.
Okay.
Yeah, like Ozone. Like, I obviously know, But explain it for Ozone.
Oh yeah, totally. Do you want me to delve into that one?
I think
Sure.
could I try and summarize
You
it
try
with
first.
one? If I could summarize what happens with 8-bit minigames, sort of in general in FNAF, is that they are either used as a window to the past, like FNAF 2 and 3, for the night minigames, and 4.
Okay.
For the
Yeah.
or they interact.
Okay, so what I believe.
Oh, so
Oh, no,
what?
well, Ghost was talking to me today about it. So you know the FNAF 3 minigames, the Chica and the Balloon Boy. That's in Security Breach.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I was about to dig into that. The FNAF 3 minigames, certain examples being Chica's Party and BB's Air Adventure. Yeah, they're important in Security Breach. Who remembers like BB's secret hidden minigame with the sun glitches in it?
Inky,
True,
this is the arcade conspiracy.
The arcade conspiracy is
Yes.
Happiest Day. Oh,
Well,
that's
it's more like you playing
And-
Princess Quest does solve the FNAF 3 minigames, which are in Security
And
Breach, and then
better yet, in FNAF World, who's putting the breadcrumbs out for all of it to happen? The crying child, who is Gregory. The crying child
does not put out. The crying child does not put out the
I
breadcrumbs.
think it's Charlie who puts out the.
Charlie tells someone to put the breadcrumbs out.
Okay, Charlie put Okay, so
Oh, he finds them. Never mind.
Okay, here's
I
the chain
forget
of
FNAF
events.
World
Here's the chain of events.
This is
FNAF
great.
World. Charlie tells Mike to get the breadcrumb set up. Mike gets the breadcrumbs set up.
Let's say
think-
someone. It's not Mike. It's got to be a spirit.
It's Mike. I think it's Mike though. I think he's Okay, so think about it. Every like spirit put to rest, we've seen through arcade machines. FNAF 3, you interacted with like things in the cameras to trigger those things. Same thing in Security Breach. You have to go to the Princess Quest arcade machines. I think Mike, and I'm just saying Mike because not only does it make sense for the like thematic plot, but also that, you know, usually we'll stick to one main character unless shown otherwise, like in Security Breach. I think he played FNAF World, like the game, just like Gregory plays Princess Quest, the game in Security
I
Breach.
agree.
All right. Well, let's. Yeah.
So the chain of events is Charlie tells Mike to set up breadcrumbs. Mike set up the breadcrumbs. Bite victim gets some kind of memory back thing, and then finishes off. He finishes off Happiest Day later on, and Princess Quest, and so it goes Charlie, Mike, Bite victim as far as the people interacting with the games.
Yeah, the big part of it is that his like the crying child's memories are integral to Happiest Day. Like they're a big part of setting that up. So, of course, he's going to be the one to eventually find the breadcrumbs, which are his memories, I guess. And a big part of you got to remember about Happiest Day is after Princess Quest is over, Cassie's like job is done. She's probably killed the anomaly in Princess Quest, and then she can move on in what we see Happiest Day, get the Golden Freddy mask, everybody's chilling. But there is one big problem. While this has to happen, Gregory has to play the arcade games at some point, the Princess Quest stuff, and it has to happen. It doesn't happen in our Security Breach run, because that's not the canon ending.
So, this is a good transition.
This
is a good transition.
Okay.
Because the next piece of evidence I was going to talk about, or actually like a main piece of evidence, is what I'm about to post in the Jordan chat.
Why is it called Jordan?
Oh, eventually, whenever my Wi-Fi decides to load it. Not that.
That's not it.
But the thing is, going off of what Underscore said, I think this would have been a really cool idea, having Bite Victim Gregory doing the arcade conspiracy, if they actually finished it. It seems like the beginnings of the idea were there, and then they just abandoned it.
Oh my god, no
True.
way.
Okay, so the Ruin DLC.
No.
We see Gregory in multiple TV screens in different loops.
Oh my god.
No.
Additionally, additionally, he's literally in the static of the TV screen. How does that get described?
And
He's
it
also
says-
typed "helped me."
Yeah,
No,
he's-
no,
screen.
no,
He is
no
trapped
way.
in a simulation, and Ruin is our quest to get him out.
And
Static?
look around the pizza, the real. What if? Oh my gosh! What he's experiencing is the pizzaplex at its prime, and Ruin is in the far future. He's still living out that simulation over and
No,
over.
okay.
But the real,
This is
the
why.
real
This is why I
pizzaplex
said.
is in ruins.
This is why I said that. This is why I said that. You know, in the theory, the security breach does happen, but Gregory is then trapped in a loop.
And
Right.
so
Okay.
he's.
Okay, I
Everyone-
want to add to this.
The chat is hating everything.
Question.
right now.
Could this mean that could Gregory just do like all the endings of Security Breach just in
No,
different
that's
rooms?
exactly what the Twitter thing says. It
Yes.
says they're all
Yes.
canon because they're different loops.
So I want to say
Why
something
do
to the
I
chat
like?
right now because
Why do I almost like that?
Inky,
I'm on the edge of
I'm
my
about to say this. I want to say to the chat right now because you will hate me right now. I don't believe this theory. I
Okay.
think it is a fantastic idea and a really cool new concept that we should all think about and try and organize information on. I don't necessarily think it's canon, but there are some pieces of evidence, and you
It's
have to admit
the-
that.
I'd say I don't know if I'd say if it's canon. I'd say it's the ideal though, because it
Oh.
actually takes like pieces of Security Breach and makes them into a
I
good story again.
sort
I want
of
to add to
agree.
this. So yeah, what is the idea that Gregory, the events of Gregory actually happen, Security Breach actually happens, probably the
Yes.
Afton ending is canon, but he does not escape the pizzeria with Glamrock Freddy. They get stuck and
That's what I thought.
and maybe die and maybe simulated. Okay,
That's exactly what I thought.
and then we're just waiting till whoever this girl is going to come and maybe
Hey,
help
underscore,
Gregory.
there is an arcade machine down there where Afton's lair is.
Or are you saying that he gets?
I'm joking.
No.
But that is a
So-
good question. Do they
People-
actually
okay.
ever come back up? I don't think they
No.
do.
Well, okay.
Even though we
see
see,
them
even
on
though
the
we
hill.
see the thingy,
We
I
see
don't
them on
think
the hill,
that's.
but
I definitely don't think that's canon.
it's not. Yeah, it's
okay.
not conclusive enough. And remember, it's a one-way elevator. They do not have a way to get back up.
Yeah.
That could just
So-
be like story gameplay thing. I don't know.
Well,
Why would
okay?
they?
So let's say. Okay, so simulation theory, which I think it should have a different name. It should be called like loop theory because
I
simulation. implies
agree,
it's-
actually.
SBLoop.
SBLoop.
That doesn't roll off the tongue that well.
SBLoop.
Gregory Loop.
Sploop.
Gregory Loop.
Sploop.
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 Sploop theory.
That's horrible.
I love
Anyway.
Sploop.
Sploop theory. I think I really like Ozone said. I don't know if it's the right answer, but it is the best answer, in my opinion, because it, like, Security Breach tried so many different things, it abandoned so many different concepts, made so many things go completely unused, and this feels satisfying in a way that the actual story of the games has never done. So, yeah.
I'm going to be
Cuban
making a
says-
video on this tomorrow, so
Cuban said,
look out for that.
if the loop theory is real, would the girl we see in the DLC be the true princess? Cuban, I got to hear more about that.
That's interesting.
Cuban, I got to hear a
don't
bit
think-
more on why they would be the
I
princess.
don't think so, but stop being so negative.
Yeah,
Yes,
I was
you are
gonna,
harshing the vibe.
I was gonna say, like, sort of towards the end that, like, we need to remember that as a community, we don't, like, disrespect theories just because we think they're dumb or we don't like them.
Yeah.
Because that's how stupid fighting in this fan base, like, happens. And it's the most famous part of the FNaF fandom, and we don't want that. That's part of the reason, that's the main thing this server stands for, that's the main thing.
I know people here are
podcast
joking
stands
about it,
for.
but even still, like,
Yeah, even if it's just jokes, it doesn't bode well. It doesn't look good to
Reincarnation
the
theory.
outside perspective.
We are the most popular FNAF podcast, so we gotta hold some high standards.
We are the only
we are
FNAF podcast.
automatically.
That is the
We're
That's-
not actually the only FNAF podcast.
What else is there? I gotta see.
Yeah.
There's I think it's called Into the Night. I don't know.
I gotta jump ship, boys. See ya.
Bruh.
Wow.
Doesn't Doggo?
Doggo doesn't have a podcast, does he?
I mean, he had the FNAF talk show thing.
Yeah, that
that
wasn't
was-
a podcast though.
It was more of an activity show. Anyways.
Cuban, I need you to tell me about reincarnation theory. Like, specify what you're talking about. He says that
Reincarnation
if the
theory.
loop is real, reincarnation theory might be real as well. So I gotta hear what specifically.
All I'll say, Inky, especially because you seem very excited about this, is just be excited for Tales from the Pizzaplex because
I will
you'll
be.
see
I
see
am.
the connections.
I
gave
so, yeah, apparently
I
there is
give
another
up
FNAF
hope.
podcast.
I gave up hope for the FNAF lore a long time ago, so I'm just enjoying the ride of the fun and crazy ideas at this point. As evidenced by my theory breakdown earlier. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Me too. 10 days. 10 days. Till I can listen to the audiobooks.
Okay,
Hopefully.
so to add on to this,
Wait, are the
you
audiobooks
started-
actually up already on Ozone's channel? Or,
No,
they aren't. No,
the epilogue is. You should definitely read that.
I'm a little.
So
tempted
I wanted to add a bit onto this. Ozone, you said you started this one because this theory was first spurred on by Under Construction, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we
I
can't talk
see-
about it.
No, I'm not talking about Under
Oh,
Construction.
okay. I know what you're going to talk about because basically this whole loop thing that we're talking about with Gregory and Security Breach, that's basically also what's happening in Princess Quest. So the story may be alluding to Princess Quest instead of the entirety of Security Breach. I think that's like a big thing to say.
So there are multiple options. Like I said, we don't necessarily believe loop theory. I just like it.
Yeah, I like.
Hey, does
I
anybody know
fully
the name
believe
of?
Loop.
Does anybody know the name of?
Loopy theory.
Does anybody know the name of Princess Quest's main theme?
I used to know it. I used to know
It's
it.
called "Caught in a Loop,"
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
and that's weird because Princess Quest isn't a loop.
Or is it?
Well, it kind of is.
Cuban said, "How
Because-
could we have known that we're stuck in a system?"
We
How could
we
have known?
we know that people attempted Princess Quest before, but Cassidy's back at the start when we play as her.
The loop
could
is
refer
referring
to
to
a lot of
Cassie
loops,
trying
yeah.
to fight William.
Okay, so Ozone, I wanted to say, this theory was spurred on by Under Construction, but I think that what happens in Under Construction and what happens in if this is true in Security Breach, they're very different things happening. You know, like what happens
Again,
in each
this
of them
is-
is a very different
Yes,
circumstance.
I agree. There's also something that I can't talk about in Under Construction that looks like it could refer to something in Princess Quest, but we won't talk about that.
I know what you're talking about, and I mean they're similar, but I don't see any correlation. You
Well,
know?
I do, and I'll talk to you about it in a minute. Anyway.
Okay.
Are we ending the podcast?
Oh, how
I
much?
think
time do left?
we have gone over a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
How
I
much?
don't.
What are we at on time?
We're at
This is a good
we're
episode.
at an hour.
Oh well, then. Oh, cool then.
Yeah,
So,
we
just
talked about
to briefly wrap up on completely unrelated. To wrap up on the Cupcake Massacre. The final.
I don't
the
think anyone
final
cares.
point-
Nobody cares about the
a lot.
Cupcake.
I want to hear about it.
Okay, the thing is, I actually kind of like this theory, but the whole thing we said about the happiest day memories and that makes a lot more sense, and I like it more. So this says that most of the victims are accounted for by all those crying things, like the crying puppet, crying balloon boys, the special cupcake, the yeah. But there's 4 more cupcakes that aren't moving, and the theory brings up, and I actually kind of like this, but I don't know, and they say it's a stretch, but Happiest Day has 16 balloons. 6 of the balloons that they fall at the end when the spirits move on. So they're
You mean
saying
rise?
that no, I think they fall down. I think.
Wait. Sorry, back up a second. Where are we? What minigame is this?
Happiest day.
Happiest day.
Happiest day.
The heads
The
fall.
heads
balloons
fall.
fly,
The balloons fly away.
Okay, yeah, I think that's what it's referring to then. So, this is saying that the balloons represent the souls, which I think I can agree with, especially if they're flying away, and they match up number to the spirits that move on. The thing is, we don't see what happens to the balloons off screen, but this is saying that each balloon is a soul. So there's five for the MCI kids, 1 for Charlotte, 5 for the Save Them kids, 1 for the secret 7th victim, which we could say is Andrew. But then that leaves 4 remaining, and so the theory is basically that there's another massacre that William did that we didn't know about, and that accounts for Endo 01, Endo 02, JJ, and the haunted heads in the back room of FNAF 1.
Oh please!
I don't know
heads.
about that. Okay, and then
See,
the
my
the-
issue.
What is this person
listen,
smoking?
My issue. Also,
The- well,
wait, no,
wait,
I'm talking. I want to talk.
okay.
My issue with this, and also why like some other theories give me issues. It's because if there were more than let's say more than 7 victims, why aren't they important enough to do anything? I guess.
Yeah,
That's
that
a good
is the
question.
thing. But that is the thing about Happiest Day. Those are the FNAF 3 minigames. That's my reason for not liking how they are right now, because there's so many dead crying things, but no explanation for them, no satisfaction for them. But this is saying that what they all have in common: they're unused animatronics, spare endos, like a mysterious character, and spare parts, suggesting that before the events of FNAF
Absolutely
2,
irrelevant.
William lured 4 kids into a room of spare animatronic parts and killed them there. That's the theory. That's what all of that reading boiled down to.
That is not good.
I don't hate it, but I don't think it's relevant at all, and doesn't really use the evidence for other things well. The thing is, I do like the balloon part. The balloon connection is my favorite, because I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But I don't know where it would go from there, is the thing. Well, today was a very strange day of crackpot theories.
That's what I'm
and
naming this episode. Just the crackpot theories.
The crackpot theories. This was a fun live episode, though.
Yeah.
Guys, you
Yeah.
guys realize that the next live episode.
Thank you all for joining.
Do
Wait, no,
them
wait,
more
wait,
often.
wait.
Do live episodes more often.
The next live episode.
They're actually fun and engaging.
Okay. The next live episode will be the season 2 finale
When's that?
in 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
Oh my goodness, that's too long. Do it in
I think-
3.
Maybe
Well,
next
to
season
be
we should do
fair-
every episode live.
No.
Every other episode live.
Every other, maybe.
Everyone is
We'll
schedule.
have to talk about it, but
We
Would you
will
guys
definitely
like
talk
that?
about that.
Would you guys like that?
I don't know.
No,
I
not
would
you
be
guys.
fine,
I mean
but
the
the
people in
chat.
chat. I've never even watched the Diamond podcast. Thank you.
Someone just popping in. What was I saying? But yeah, underscore. Even though it's 5 weeks and it seems like a long time, we've been sort of in a lull right now. But as soon as Lally's game comes out, we're gonna have a
yeah.
lot to talk about. So
Yeah.
I think it'll
2
fly
weeks
by.
time.
Oh my gosh. And then it's probably going to take a couple weeks for Inky to read it. No offense. I'm just going off pattern.
No, my library. It either takes a long time or it gets it in 2 days.
So the thing is, we could maybe talk about the entirety of Lala Game as the season 2 finale, possibly if it takes that long.
Well, I think if it takes that long,
I think 2
yeah, but
episodes.
I don't think it'll take that long.
Right. I'm just saying worst case scenario.
Yeah, worst case scenario, the season 2 finale is talking about that epilogue.
No, talking about the entire book.
We can do a
That's
we can
worst.
do a whole episode on the epilogue. I'm telling you.
I genuinely think we could, just by what you guys are saying about it.
We
And
yes, we
it'll
could.
probably be a sequel to this episode.
The longer you keep me here, the closer I get to spilling all the beans on this.
Okay,
new
so
story.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Dark.
We're gonna
Room
stay here
Podcast.
for another 10 minutes, and this is how we're gonna solve it.
No.
There we go. He's gone.
Oh. Huh?
Oh, we're
You
doing this thing
cannot
again.
silence me.
I can't do what?
Anyways.
Wait, what can I not do?
Oh
Don't
no,
do
we
it.
do that. We do this at the end of every episode these days, is when it's long.
True. Ozone. All right. Thank you so much for
Let's
watching this.
go.
You know what? You can't even get rid of me because if you do, I still have all the audio. But
We're back.
thank you so much for watching this video, and or I guess listening to the episode of the podcast. And we're gonna see you later. Why is there a fifth person here?
Because I added him.
All
No.
right, we're leaving. Ready. Say goodbye. Everyone say bye.
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 Underscore.
Ghost. Hi, Ghost.
Underscore. Say bye.
What? Bye.
Say,